Our stories today are about science. The short story is called Science Trip and is going to teach us a few words that we might need to know. And the second story is called Pearl and Wagner, Two Good Friends. And they're talking about a science fair in that one. We have had science fairs at our school before. We did not have one this year, but it's where you do experiments so that you can do a competition with your experiment. And our question today is, when does support from others help with a creative idea? Sometimes we're stuck and we need to come up with an idea, so people support us. They don't tell us the idea, but they help us think of things. And our vocabulary there: watch, guess, one, shoe, village, science, and pretty. You can watch a person, or you can wear a watch, where someone can say, watch out, meaning you better take your eyes and see what's coming. Shoe, most of us wear shoes every day. Sometimes we wear sandals or boots, but we know what that is. It covers our foot. Village. Forest Grove's kind of a town. There are places that have little tiny towns out in the country, and they call those villages. Guess. When you make you take a good idea and you decide, I think it's going to be that, and maybe it works. When you do science, you actually have to do a lot of guessing. And science, that's when you study about the world, the facts in the world, in the habitats and the environment. One, this is not the number one. This is when you won the game or you won the science fair. It means that you had a competition and you're the person that came in first place. And pretty. Most of us know what that is. But did you know that pretty is an opinion? If I say that dog is pretty, there might be someone that thinks that dog is ugly. So when we say things like, I think that's pretty, or I think that's nice, if I say the words I think or I believe, that's an opinion. That doesn't mean it's true for everyone. It just might be true for you. So our first story is Science Trip. Please watch your feet, the man stated. Steve peeked at his shoe and noted that it had gotten wet. I guess he needed to step over a small stream. Last week, Steve's science team won a trip. A prize. It was neat. On that sunny day, his teacher took them to a pretty village not far from their home. The village had springs where water leaves the ground. So the water bubbles up out of the ground like a water fountain kind of, but it's from nature. The water reaches the river. Big wheels use that water and they make energy. Now Steve and his team can teach others what he learned. Pearl and Wagner, two good friends. When does support from others help us with a creative idea? And I think maybe someone in this story needs a little brainstorming help. That's when you get all your ideas and you talk about them and you get someone to help you and you come up with a whole bunch of ideas that can make something happen. Part 1, the robot. Everyone in Miss Starr's science class was talking about the science fair. I'm going to make a robot, said Pearl. I'm going to win a prize, said Wagner. Pearl got to work. She taped out the flaps of a great big box. She cut a hole in the top, then she cut a hole in the lid of a shoebox. She glued the shoebox lid to the top of the great big box. Wagner held the boxes together while the glue dried. Maybe I will make a walkie-talkie, he said. So here's the teacher announcing it, and she's working on her robot. She has a helper. Pearl punched a hole in one end of the shoebox. She stuck a string through the hole, and she tied the string in a knot. Maybe I will make the brain out of clay, said Wagner. Cool, said Pearl. She drew eyes and a nose on the shoebox. Wagner looked at the shoebox. The eyes are too small, he said. Pearl made the eyes bigger. Maybe I will make a rocket, said Wagner. Vroom, blast off. Pearl put the shoebox onto the lid. There, she said. Finished. Pearl pulled the string, the robot's mouth opened. She threw in a wad of paper and she let go of the string and the robot's mouth shut. Wow, said Wagner, it's a trash-eating robot. So Wagner's got lots of ideas, but he hasn't started his project. And she's already made her robot. She pulls the string and the mouth opens. That's kind of clever. Let's see what everyone has made, said Miss Starr. Uh-oh, said Wagner. He hadn't made anything yet. Lulu raised her hand. I made a walkie-talkie. I was going to do that, said Wagner. I made paper airplanes, said Bud. This chart shows how far they flew. Wagner slapped his head. Why didn't I think of that? Henry showed how to get electricity from a potato. Henry's a brain, said Pearl. Pearl, Wagner said. Remember how I held the boxes together while the glue dried? I remember, said Pearl. Remember how I told you to give the robot bigger eyes? Asked Wagner. Pearl nodded. I remember. Here's their projects. There's what looks like a walkie-talkie, an old-fashioned phone, and someone measuring how far these planes flew, and the robot, and the electricity out of the potato. All good science things. Your turn, Pearl, said Miss Starr. I made a trash-eating robot, said Pearl. She looked at Wagner. He was slumped down in his seat. Wagner and I made it together, said Pearl. Wagner sat right up again. Pearl pulled the robot's string. She pulled too hard and the robot's head fell off. I guess you two friends have more work to do, said Miss Starr. I guess so, said Pearl. But I don't mind, because Wagner and I will do all the work together. Uh-oh, said Wagner. Doing that. And then, whoops, the head fell off. Second part is called the Science Fair. On Science Fair Day, Pearl and Wagner were still working on their robot. Pearl stretched rubber bands. She held them tight. Wagner stapled them onto the shoebox and the lid. That should do it, he said. Pearl and Wagner hurried to the gym with their robot. They passed a boy with an ant village. They passed a girl playing music for plants. They passed Henry. He had his electric potato hooked up to a tiny Ferris wheel. So here they are repairing their robot. And you see the different things that they were doing? All of them talking about the ants and the plants and the potato. All of them different science ideas, and there's their robot. Pearl and Wagner set up their robot. A judge came over. Watch this, said Pearl. Pearl pulled the robot's string. Nothing happened. She pulled harder. The robot's mouth popped open and the rubber bands flew everywhere. Oh, yikes, said the judge. Oh, no, said Wagner. There goes our prize. We are not quite ready, Pearl told the judge. Okay, I will come back in 5 minutes, said the judge. I have more rubber bands in my desk, said Pearl. She raced off to get them. Wagner tapped his foot. He bit his nails. Pearl was taking forever. The judge will be back any second. He had to do something. Wagner looked around. No one was watching him. He pulled the tape off of a big box. He opened the back of the robot, and he slipped inside. There's the judge, and it didn't work. Oh, everything exploded. And then over here, he's thinking. He's trying to be creative because he has this problem, and he has to help. So he snuck in there. Let's see what happens. The judge came back. She did not see Pearl and Wagner. She started to leave. Wait, said the robot. Oh, my stars, said the judge. It's a talking robot. Just then Pearl came back. You have a nice smile, the robot was telling the judge, and such pretty eyes. Do you think so, said the judge. Pearl could not believe her ears. Your robot is so smart, said the judge. How does it work? Said Pearl. It's hard to explain. The judge opened the robot's mouth. She looked inside. Hi there, said Wagner. Uh-oh, said Pearl. So when she peeked inside, she saw there was somebody in there. The judge gave out the prizes. The girl who played music for the plants won first prize. Henry and his electric potato won second prize. The trash-eating robot didn't win any prize at all. I was only trying to help, Wagner told Pearl. I know, said Pearl. You're a good friend, Wagner. And you were a pretty good robot, too. So they were inspired. They got lots of good ideas from each other. Sometimes when your friends are supportive, good things can happen. They can help you figure stuff out that you might not have figured out otherwise. I hope you liked the story. Bye.